3. Been a bit busy, but I've gotten it done. We'll see who comes on. Tick, 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 tick. I'll see you when you come back, okay?
All right, Mommy.
Bye-bye. Okay, we're 30 seconds into this. 33, 34, 35. We're waiting. I hope you're enjoying the weather. It's really nice outside. It's a little cool, but at least we're not bundled up to here with clothes. He did say 3. Well, if you want to know what I'm doing, cooking next week, I have no idea. But my son did come in with some extra meats and stuff, and I had to pack that freezer left and right. Boy, he does sound angry. Well, I'll just stay out of the way, and then I'll be all right. Come on, guys. I warned you I'd be on at 3. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Well, it's going to be a long video of no talking. Okay. Today is Wednesday. Didn't I promise Wednesday I'd be on live at 3? Okay. So I write myself a letter. He's back. He's going. Yeah, he's really pissed. Okay, I should cancel this at this rate. Nobody's coming on. Okay. Oh, that's all right. It'll be the 5 minutes of sheer quiet and then I'll leave. But I did promise everybody I would be on at 3. I even told you that earlier. 2 minutes and 37 seconds. 3 of you are on. Hi. This is chat time. I'm actually doing a live chat. I'm not going to tell you what I'm cooking because I haven't decided, but I figured we'd just chat. If you have questions or anything, we could just talk. Well, do you have anything? Well, nobody's talking. 19. Hi. Is anybody going to say hello or are you going to be quiet? Okay. Well, I'll just doodle until everybody decides to start talking. Hi. So how are you doing? Mexi Ghost Hunter 86. How are you doing? Come on, guys. Hello. Wellina? Ding Dong Ditch. Do you know Ramses Paludan from Denmark? No, I do not. I apologize. I do not know. I'm doing great. How are you? I am doing fine. As you can see, I'm happy. Spring is in the air. Yay! I'll be out in that yard tearing everything up. I shouldn't look at it that way, but that's how I look at it. Can you Google him? I don't know. Can you Google him? Is he a vocalist, a cook? What is he? To give me an idea. You're in California. It's raining. Oh, we got the sun here. Don't worry, it'll get over here soon enough. Give us 5 days and we'll probably have a ton of rain. Okay, but what did he do? You're not helping me. You're not telling me. I'm so a little lost. But I figured I would spend 30 minutes to an hour on live and we could just talk. Happy. You don't see my shorts anymore? Oh, listen, I post a lot of them because most people won't go all the way to the end of the videos. But for those who want recipes, the videos I do. Okay, thumbs up. So what have all of you been doing for the week? Danish, oh, hang it up. I don't like politicians. They're a problem. Where are my feet? They're on my legs. Okay, what foods do you make? Well, today I made chicken breast with tomatoes, yellow squash, and zucchini. And I made yesterday, oh, that cranberry walnut pound cake is fantastic. Let's see, I can cook just about, well, everything that I know how to cook. Yes, I am. Oh, I'll keep it up, don't worry. I have socks and shoes on my feet. All right, what happened is my younger son encouraged it, actually, because my husband and I were going to start a restaurant and only feed 15 people. And what happened is uh, the taxes and everything and all the rules and regulations. So I just said, no, I wouldn't do it. So my husband passed, and my son just looked at me one day because I was cooking. He says, Mommy, why don't you make a cooking channel? Because I belong to Cooking the Maine's Way, but you only showed the end products of everything that you made. And I had it out with, let's say I had it out with one of the administrators, and I left that and I started making my own America's Home Cooking on Facebook. And people were asking me, how did I make it? How did I make it? And I was telling my younger son about it, and he told me, Mommy, go to YouTube. I said, I don't know how to do any of that. I don't know how to set it up or anything. So he helped me set it up, and that's how I got onto YouTube and started cooking to show people how to cook. I think the breaking point for me to really understand how YouTube worked was when a teacher actually saw me, and I was sitting on the bus, and she heard me talking with somebody about food, and when the person went off, she came next to me and she asked me to come to the school and teach. And that's I told her I couldn't do that because I don't have a teacher's license, and I would have to go to school and go through all of that before I could teach, and I'm already retired. And so she said, so I told my son, he said, that's what you have to do, Mommy. The only way you're going to get all these people to help them is to make a YouTube channel and show them and explain to them what you have to do. I am doing fine. And thank you very much. I try. But the thing is, that's what actually got me started making a YouTube channel to help people was the teacher and my younger son. I mean, they wanted me to actually teach how to cook, the terminologies and all, because, and then just, I think a week ago, I found out a lot of young people don't know how to cook. I am from America, and that's what got the whole thing started. And that's what got me into doing all of this, was to actually, my son and everything else. And then hearing that people couldn't, so I just figured, oh, somebody wrote something, but I missed it. So that's what triggered the whole thing to get me onto the YouTube to teach cooking. And at first I was dragging my heels. And my younger son, why are you dragging your heels about doing this? I said, the girl, watch me. He said, people watch you when you go outside. What's wrong with you? And I said, well, I'm sorry. That's how I have my own food truck, but I'm scared to fall. I understand that, to fail. Listen, I was afraid that I was going to fail. I just didn't know. But you have to take that step. Your fear will always prevent you from moving forward. So you have to sit there and take that step. If you have somebody who can help push you, like my son, but he pushed me into it. But I was telling him, but they're going to see me. He said, of course they're going to see you. You're going to show them. I said, okay. But I was nervous when I started. I did not know if I was going to be able to do it, would I be able to hold myself or anything else. Listen, why do you keep asking me if I'm on my feet? No, I am sitting down. I do have shoes and socks on. Why are you concerned about that? I'm a bit confused. So that's how I got into it. And I've been doing this for two pages. Sandra, get your head together. It's been 2 years, a little over 2 years that I've been doing this. And I was shocked. I took a look and I said, God, I got over 2,000 videos and I haven't repeated any. And I got a lot more recipes. I don't know what trolling means. I'm sorry. When you think of a troll, I think of a tiny little person, about this big, running around. Thank you very much, Wade. So I've done a lot of videos. God, I didn't realize I did that much. And I said, I haven't repeated anything yet. And let's not talk about my cookbooks. I got a lot. Oh, okay. Thank you. I didn't know what he meant by that. Hello. Yada Joe Serrano. Hello, pretty lady. I first catching you live. Well, I'm going to try my darndest to make sure that I do a live or the meals that'll be coming up on Wednesday about 3 o'clock, 3 to 4. Keep your fingers crossed because I usually get busy and forget. You are my crush, first time, love. Your dear friend, love you. Okay. I'm 22 years old, boy, dear friend. Okay, so you're a young man. I'm an old girl. I didn't think I was going to get this old. Gee, I wonder what I look like when I hit 80. Yeah, I look forward to turning 80, believe it or not. You're a young man at 22. Let's see. Anything else you guys want to know? Nigeria, yeah. Okay, young man. Be careful getting crushes on older women. I should say they'll break your heart. Oh, dear. You don't have a girlfriend? Really miss you. Well, I am going to work on Wednesday at 3 p.m. I'll be doing what's coming up, or either I'll be doing lives for a while. Now, listen, if I'm late, please understand I'm just that kind of person. I get busy and I forget the time, and then I have to run like crazy. Like this morning was crazy. I had 2 different breads. They both had to go in the oven at the same time. One was at 450, one was at 375. So I had to move one to where it was cool to slow it down from rising so I get the other one cooked. And I had to wait for the oven to, it was a mess this morning. Okay. Listen, there's 8 of you there watching, now 6. You must have questions. Mobile 112, what does XXX mean? Yes, I do. My son set it up. Young men usually are. They're very emotional. By the time you hit 25, it should be pretty much leveling off. I should know. 2 sons raising when they hit that age, I wanted to kill them. Yeah, by 25, you pretty much settle in at 25. You still have, you're just leaving the teenagers growing more into that time of hitting your 20s. When you hit 25, you settle more. Betty White was hilarious. She was good, man. She was really good with her humor. She knew exactly when to say it and get it out and say it and leave everybody with their mouths dropped. I didn't know she had passed. Thank you for telling me. Okay, there's 5 of you still there. Come on. Yes, I am. I am doing well. Thank God, knock on wood, I have my health. Fight with my doctor when I see him once every 3 years, but that's okay. I'm not letting him do what he wants. I said, this is my body, I own it. Okay, now there's 7 of you, and there's only 1, 2 I can see here, so that means 5 of you are not talking. You're being quiet. If nothing else, that's great. Okay, 2 of them just took off running. Oh my goodness. Well, we've been on 16 minutes and 15 seconds. Anything else you want to say? Oh, 1 came back. Like number 3. No, what I'm talking about is at 25, you seem to settle out as a man more. But when you're young, below that, you have all those hormones and everything kicking in. With what? Want me to help you with what? I don't understand. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. I did not mean to do that. I got gas. You're feeling sad? Where are you from? You're not in a war-torn area. Things shouldn't be that bad. You have to count your blessings. And I guess that's what I'm trying to tell you. You have the breath of life when you wake up. You have another day to look forward. You have another day of expressing yourself, being beautiful. And you sit there and I count my blessings. If I wake up in the morning, I thank God that I'm alive. I accept that life as we know it on this earth is school. I'm in school until I'm called home. I have lessons I have to learn like everyone else and learn how to be. If you have food on the table and clothes on your back, they might not be the top of the line, but count your blessings. If you're not in a war-torn area, count your blessings. Glips, you fried chicken short, of which I'm sure you have a video, eager to click on that and hopefully enjoy better than Church's fried chicken, homemade. Yeah, I did an 18th century one with wine in it. Oh, that one is so good. And then I did this southern fried chicken. And because I used whole grains, it was a little darker than what most people would have. If you use white flour, it'd be lighter, but I wanted to get the nutrition of the food, so I'll go in a different direction. I couldn't even remember the flours I used. I knew it was a mixture, though somebody suggested that I had burnt it. I didn't burn it. It's just that kind of flour gets darker faster. Boy 18, you have to tell me what you're asking me to help you with. Because I don't understand what you're asking. I love homemade food. Okay, that's fine. Explain the question spiritually that you want. Growing up in Utah, my friend's mom always stated the secret is in the pressure cooker. Would Miss Ross be correct? Some people cook with a pressure cooker. There's different ways. Um, I have never, I know Kentucky Fried likes to pressure cook some of it before he fries up his chicken, but I also know to get that crunch, he probably uses self-rising flour, which I found out which really makes it crunchy. And I made my own self-rising flour when I did that one, but I can't remember the flour combination that I used. So I guess she could use it to start the chicken in the pressure cooker and then fry it up afterwards, but I'm not sure. So I couldn't say yay or nay to that. Serena? All right. So you're very spiritual, boy 18, but what is it that you want suggestions about? You're not being specific. You're dancing around a question. Growing up in Utah, I've never been there. You explain to you, I'm very bad feeling all the time, but why? Bad feelings about what? You have a reason to be bad. You have negative, they're called negative feelings. Now, I have heard this that negative, well, people say negative uh, feelings are depression. Okay, that's what they state it is. Though some spiritualists would sit there and say, now I'm going spiritual, that you have negative forces coming at you. And what you have to do is throw them away. When my sons are negative, I will tell them point blank, go take an ammonia bath, shower, wash your body down with ammonia. They come out squeaky clean, I can say that much. They almost gag in the bathroom because I can't deal with them. Go wash up with ammonia. Okay? So if you're having not bad feelings, but negative feelings, you've got to clean yourself. Some people like to burn sage is another one. They say that can help cleanse the air around you. They have sage, and you open the windows, and you go in the motion of the windows, and you call on God to clear it up. This is what they state you can do as well. They also state you when you pray, you have to count your blessings and start thinking of the good things. I mean, do you stop and bother to look at a flower that it could be all among rocks and it's a hard area for it to grow, but yet it manages to grow and shine in its beauty? So there could be a lot of it in that aspect. So you can think that's why you've got to keep positive energy around you. It's usually with thoughts. You got to, it's difficult, but I go outside and I smile. The sun is shining. Why can't I be happy about it? If it's snowing, I don't care how old I am, I'll play in the snow. You know, I never grow up. Okay. I take care of my responsibilities and I go outside and play. Sometimes you take your shoes off and walk in the ground and let the ground, Mother Earth, know that you're there, that she can help you. Why? I can't answer why you have negative thoughts unless you just have negative people are throwing negative energy at you and you pick it up. If you're sensitive, you'll pick up negative energies around you and you have to sit there and move away from the people that are negative to put more of a positive state of mind. This is how it goes. Does that help you understand? You have to clear out negative. You can't lean on somebody to clean up a negative. You're going to have to sit there and clean the inside of you, which is your thoughts. It's not when you pray, you say you pray every day. What you're going to have to do is, instead of saying, God, I need this, this, or this, you sit there and you tell him thank you for the life that you have. You sit there and thank him for the breath of life that you have. Thank you for my health. Thank you. Start thanking him for what he has given you instead of looking around and seeing what you don't have. People that are in a war-torn area, they wake up and they're lucky that they have their life. Thank you. So you should be thanking him for all that you have. I've seen animals, they are there. I have seen them and they are like dying for thirst and there's no water. And somebody comes along and gives them a little bit of water and they're grateful for that. Mankind is not grateful. He's got to have $1 million. He's got to have a big mansion. He's got to have people working for him. He wants this. He wants to lay in bed. He wants to do all these things. But you don't count the blessings of the things that you have. And that's being grateful. This is why, do I have a mansion? No, I don't. I have a house that needs work on. It's not the greatest, but it's mine. And I'm grateful that I have a roof over my head. I have food on the table. I have clothes on my back. I don't have the most expensive clothes, but I have it. I have pets. I can't afford all the pets I want, but I'm grateful for everything that I have. So when I end my day, I close my eyes and I'm grateful that I had a day. I don't know, because I am 72. I don't know if I'm going to wake up tomorrow. I never know any of this because of my age. But when I wake up, thank you. I made it through another day and through the night. So you've got to be grateful for everything that you have and quit trying to have more than what you want. Yeah, but I do miss my husband. I do wish I had him. Oh, you will. Take care of yourself and believe you me, you'll make it there. But always be grateful. But I do miss my husband, but he was very, very sick. I wouldn't want him back if he was that sick. But when he was healthy, man, he kept me running all over the place. He was a very busy person, and I grew up in the country, which was a slower pace, but he was in the city. He brought me here, and it was like, how do you know one street from another? They all look alike. I couldn't find myself. I couldn't find anything. I just held on to them. At one time we had gone to Saks Fifth Avenue, my brother-in-law, which was one of his younger brothers, and I was in heels. Now I'm in high heels. Men, you do not know how our feet hurt walking, pounding concrete in high heels. We've been walking all day. And I was talking, but they walk like military, big steps, man. And I'm like at a semi-trot trying to keep up with them. And I finally stopped and I sat down on the curb. They went 3 blocks before they lost me and realized. And they came back. And I told them, my feet hurt. I want to sit down. You're very welcome for them. Thank you so much. So they proceeded. They said, well, we'll carry you military. They crossed their hands like that. And I said, I am not going to sit down and you're not going to run me down the street. You're going to find a restaurant and we're going to go eat. My feet hurt. I quit high heels long ago. Oh, I can understand that. I have low heels now. They're about 2 inches and they're more of a block because I'm older now. I don't need to wear 4-inch heels or 3-inch heels and break my ankles at my age. So I sit there and I wear the lower heels, only if I have to get dressed. Other than that, I'll run barefoot, but hello again. Yeah. And so anyway, that was that's how I learned. But I used to walk slow and walk barefoot. I used to go to sleep, and one time my husband left us. I was with the boys, and we're in the city here, we're in Brooklyn, and I sat there, and the dogs were out in the backyard, the cat was out in the backyard, the boys were out there playing, and I got tired, and I said, you know what? I am just gonna go sit in a lounge chair. And what happened next was I fell asleep. Now, in Texas, when I grew up, remember we're going back 60 years or so because I'm up there in age. We didn't have locks on the doors during the day, so I didn't lock the house up. I left the back door open, and I fell asleep out in the backyard with the dogs and everybody there. And next thing I know is I hear this breathing over me, and and my husband yelled at me, "What do you think man?" I jumped out of that chair. I was standing upright. I did not believe what he did. He yelled at me. He said, "I saw the front door open, Sandy." And I said, "And?" He said, "This is not Texas. This is the city. I came in the house. I thought I'd find you and the boys dead. I went through the whole house. I just knew I had lost my family." And that was the day I learned to start locking doors. So I was very, very careful after that. I learned to lock doors and stuff. I learned city life is not like the country life. Yeah. Well, right now it's cold, so I'll keep the windows closed. But I like leaving the door unlocked, during the day. But when you go to bed, you lock up. But I guess you know what I'm talking about, Diaz. We have to learn to lock everything up. It's really wild that you have to do that. You can't trust people anymore. It's really quite disheartening, I think, because Americans used to trust people before. I mean, I would go to a house, and if the door was open, I would go and yell, "Hello," so I didn't want to walk in on something, or somebody. But now it's like lock this, lock this. When I came to the city, I was shocked at how everybody locks everything up. I mean, I in Texas we could have the gun hanging in the back of a pickup. They had the things in the back, and they'd have their shotgun there, and they didn't lock their car up, and nobody would touch it. Nobody touched any of it. Did I make a Scottish meal? Which one did I make? Ooh, I don't know, but thank you. So things have changed a lot. I mean, we'd never lock the car when we went into the supermarket. The men didn't sit there and have their guns, they're hanging on the rack in the back of, let's see, you have the pickup truck, and in the back they have these two things that sit back here, and they would have the rifle there. And everyone had a gun in the house, so it wasn't, every home had a gun, so that was nothing. But now I heard it's really changed down there, really, really bad. So if it's bad down there, when I came up here, I was shocked the way everybody was just locking everything up and, boarding everything. And I'm saying, what is wrong with them? I used to say they were paranoid. My husband, he said, you have to live like this. It's really hard. And you have to have a mind frame for it. I still don't have it. My sons remind me constantly, would you lock the door, Mommy? Okay. Oh. Oh, we've been on for 34 minutes. How's that? Aren't we doing good? Mm. What about sweet pickles and onion? The club sandwich, God, I make a lot of different ones. But that's how you like yours, with ham on one side and turkey breast and bacon in the middle. That'd be interesting. I made a pastrami supreme. Oh, it took me a while. We had bought that at a restaurant. It tasted so good. It took us a while to figure out the recipe, but we we finally got it together. But why don't you put mayonnaise and mustard on it, don't you? Hello. And no, I have not seen The Simpsons yet. Before you ask me, I haven't gotten there yet. Have any Haggis, ma'am? Haggis? What's Haggis? See, I remembered. I just haven't gotten to the television. But what is a Haggis, Darren? So what have you been up to, Simpson? Okay. IDK means I don't know either. Sweet pickle and onion, trying to remember how they made their clubs at the Sundown restaurant back in Utah where I worked. Oh, okay. You mean, are the videos, the videos I do, some of them are actually my recipes and some are not. And what I also do is I take recipes and I make them more nutritious to show you that you could take your recipes and make them more nutritious. Oh, what kind of potato salad? I've got like 9 of them. And so, yes, I do have my own recipes that are on there, and they're also recipes that I have changed where they say do this, I'm going to go in this direction. If they say that, I'll change it around, and then it becomes mine because I'm not making it exactly the way they make it. Like making cakes, to make them more nutritious, if you add powdered milk, I noticed that they burn. So, and I can't add wheat germ because then it becomes more like a bread. So I tried with brewer's yeast, and I take a bread recipe and I'll put like a tablespoon of brewer's yeast in it. Now, brewer's yeast, the one I'm talking about, is one that's a byproduct of beer making, not the one for bread. So, oh, you'll see them through the summer. I made one German potato salad that is, you can serve it warm or hot, and then I made a southern potato salad. Yeah, that's the southern one, Joe Serrano. So don't worry, you'll see them. I'll get them around. Just keep on counting. So that's the truth on that. So I learned to put brewer's yeast into the cake, but you only add a tablespoon, because if you add more than 2 tablespoons, it starts to take that yeast flavor over the flavors that you're trying to get. So you have to be careful how you balance that out. Okay. Okay. So so the answer to is yes, a lot of the recipes are mine, or recipes I've taken and I've changed them. Sometimes I'll make one right on the spot with you. Like I am thinking about making flaxseed biscuits. Then I'll probably just do it in front of him. We'll see how it comes out. It doesn't always work, but sometimes it does. I made Williamsburg buns. They're a little heavy, so I think next time I make them, I might make them with buttermilk and my discard because I had to use too much of my discard. I wasn't happy with the way of the texture. It was a little on the heavy side. So I think I'm going to use probably half discard and half buttermilk to see if I can get them in lighter. And I also want to cut them bigger because they're like biscuits. And I don't want them like biscuits. I want them more like a roll. So I think I might use a 3-inch biscuit cutter or maybe 2.5. Well, that's what I'm working on. Uh, you can make flaxseed tea. It's a little slimy. When I make breads, I can add flaxseed. Well, they call it. I'm going to call it flour, but it's really the seeds just ground up. And let's see, flaxseed. Sometimes I like to throw it into stuff. I never know. So I go in different directions. You never know what I'm going to pull out of the kitchen. I just can't say yay or nay. I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. Like today when they said with the chicken, I knew they wanted me to use all-purpose flour, and I said, look, I'm going to use my leftover flour because I don't know what's in it, but I'll use it. Chicken fried steak pizza does not sound good. No. Oh, no. Sorry. Now, if you want fried chicken and have a steak, then have a pizza, well, I still don't think that'd go well together. Anything else? Thank you. I don't know. But why do you want to eat a lot of flax seeds? The megas? Flaxseed. Click on Neil Case's channel where he substitutes eggs for flaxseed eggs and milk for soy milk. He adds protein and the result is great pancakes. Okay. I know that a lot of people on the channels that come across mine, they don't give you all the steps on how to do things, or they run it to make it short to hold the attention span, but they leave so many steps out. And a lot of people need to see what you're doing. That's why mine are so long sometimes, but I want you to actually see. So if you go to make something, you say, oh, this is how it has to look through the cooking stages and all. I've never heard of Neil Case. Thank you. I hope they help. That's the whole thing is I want to help people. And this is the easiest way for people to do it because I could not pack all of you into this house to watch what I'm doing in the kitchen. Well, you have to realize there are people who don't know the steps that I'm going through. So, and I tell them in the terminology of cooking and they don't understand. And they write me and they send, could you please show us? This is why the videos are longer than they should be on someone, because they really do want to see what I'm doing. So in that way, and remember, I'm also 72. So if I'm slow and I'm not running through the kitchen like a mad hatter, I've earned it. I've got 72 years on me. Oh, goodness, we've almost hit 45 minutes. So what do you guys do for a living? I'd be interested in what you do for work or what you did if you're retired. Yeah, I'm doing my shorts. I learned to make shorts. I separate them from the videos. The shorts come up faster, but if you want the video, you just look for the video by the same name, and then that way you can walk right into the videos. Now, some videos, like when I'm making bread, it's in parts. Like if If I make a sourdough bread, I have to start it one morning and feed it. Then I tell you what to do in the evening. Then the following day, we make it. But the problem is sometimes I have other dishes going that I want to show you as well. So you'll see like a part one, part two, part three, or something like that. And if we're making a culture, that could be 10 parts because you have to feed it and we have to watch it to see how it's going. So you know what to, when you see yours do this, you know your culture's alive. Thank you. No, I'm not that young anymore. I'm a lot older. 72. Yeah, that's right. Today's Wednesday. 2 days ago I turned 72. I'm so proud of myself. My cooking is unreal. How could you say that? I'm in the kitchen. I should know. It gets hot in that kitchen. They're very real. Yeah, we've earned it. We old age is beautiful. I get to slow down and smell the roses, as they say, or smell the flowers. So everything I do is a slower pace. I mean, I used to clean one, two, three, a 4 bedroom house. I do it in a day. I said, nah, not now. I'm 72. I'll clean one room a day, take my time, and go and do something else that I want to do. So I do that. The only time I run around is in the morning. I'm trying to get everything done so I can enjoy the rest of the day. I always try to make people's lives better when I cross their paths. I always try to put a smile on my face, can cheer somebody up, or ask how they're doing. Remind you of your grandmother. Get a bit busy. Gotta go. Thanks for chatting with you. I'll catch you up later. Next Wednesday, I'm going to try at 3 again. Okay. Go to work. So if I see somebody who needs help, I try to help them best I can. If I see somebody say good morning to them, it makes their day. And people don't think about that. Like I went shopping. You ought to see all the grumps. And I'm saying, God, they're not even happy. And I'm looking at them. So when they come out or they walk past me, I say, good morning. You know, I'll keep them going. The recipes, yeah. And people should be more pleasant. I really think they should. But I've seen a woman cry in the street and I've gone to her. Children upset. Give them a kind ear. Sometimes somebody just needs to listen, you know, and help them. That's how I am. Like I had my contractor doing something and he had it was heavy, all right? I didn't know it was heavy, but I picked it up. It was some wood because we were going to put a mailbox off the house closer by the gate. And it's built in a cross shape. I picked the whole thing up off the ground and I lugged it down the driveway. And my younger son, are you trying to be Christ? And I said, no, why? He said, you look like you're carrying that cross. My contractor didn't believe I did that. I wish you all the luck on that, Joe Serrano. Sorry, I pronounced the T in your name. Yes, yes, I have. I have traveled outside of the country. Can't talk about where I went with my husband, I can talk about where I went with my parents. I'm not allowed to talk about some of it, but I have been to Mexico. I have been to Puerto Rico. Where else have I been? Somewhere else? Come on, Sandy. Where else have you been that I can talk about? Oh, I loved Puerto Rico, though. That was beautiful. I've been to some other places, but I'm not allowed to speak of them. Oh, yes. I have been to Mexico many times. My parents took me there a lot. My father took me to San Juan, Puerto Rico. I ate my way out of my clothes. The food was so good, I had to come home safety pinned. And my mother was very upset with me. She put me on a diet. In Mexico, yeah, my mother spoke Spanish. I remember the area we were at. I was a little girl. Maybe you know the area. It was close by Saddleback Mountain. That's where we were from the hotel. I could actually see Saddleback Mountain from the hotel window. Thank you, Darren. So I don't know where that is in Mexico. Maybe you could tell me, Serrano, because I remember that. And I remember my father parked the car in front of the hotel. You know, they had a parking place there, and somebody asked, did my father wish to have somebody to pay somebody to watch his car? And my father said no. My father's cheap. And he went out the next day, and he had no wheels on his cars. They took it. So my father paid to get it done, get them fixed. And the kid was there again and said, do you want to pay me and I'll watch your car to make sure you don't lose your tires anymore? So my father had to pay him. And then my father bought liquor from down there, and he wanted to bring it into the United States. And he said when we got to the customs so we could come back into Texas, they took half of it. My mother told him, I told you to buy more. Saddleback Mountain, yes, that's El Cerrado de la Sioux in the industrial urban hub of Montgomery. Yeah, well, I know the mountains went up like this, and there was nothing on the side. I mean, when we looked out the window where my father was driving, they didn't have a railing there. I mean, there was nothing there. We looked down, you could go all the way, see all the way down the mountain. But yeah. Is that in the middle part of Mexico where I was at? I'm not sure. Oh, that's all right. I understand. Middle north part. Okay, thank you, Serrano. Cleopatra, don't be upset. I can only answer some areas, other areas, because my husband worked for the government. You can't talk about that stuff. That's sort of like quiet. And you'd think I sat there and tried to take French and Spanish and Latin in high school. My teachers said, give it up. Middle North part. So my husband, like I said, he was smart. Let's see, he spoke German, Latin, Spanish. What was the other one? German, Spanish. I know he spoke English, and he was working on Arabic and another language. He spoke 5 languages. He was smart. Yes, I do. I have 2 cats. They're brothers, Amber and Taffy. Taffy's the little one. He's the baby, the runt of the litter, and he's the one you hear all the time when I'm cooking. You hear the cat in the background. If you listen to the other videos, they're about a year old. You'll hear a bird in the background. That was Pip, our little cockatiel. I remember some of my teachers. I don't remember my government teacher. I hated him. He was not a nice teacher, and he gave me hell. MS is middle school, right? I like Martha Reyes. Miss Wilson was my fourth grade teacher. And I loved Miss Wilson. When she died, the whole high school, we were, it was said that she died funeral, so we all were quiet. She was my fourth grade teacher. She was the one who taught me fractions and percentages and decimal points. I'm not going to talk. Okay? He was in the service, I'll tell you that much. And she was the one who taught me how to do my fractions and math. And I remember her standing in front of the class. They were trying the new math when I hit fourth grade, and she couldn't get us to understand it. She said, "Give me the books. Give me the books." I love this teacher. Now, you have to realize across the hall in school is the principal's office, and she took the books and she threw them out in the hall. She didn't stack them up. She threw them. I didn't think Miss Wilson had a temper. And the principal called her to the office and she said, "Then fire me." He wouldn't fire her because she was the best teacher he had. And she told us point blank, "You're not going to understand anything I tell you, but you're going to need it someday." So she'd make us write 1/3 equals dot 33 1/3 equals 33 1/3%. And she walked us through. That's how I learned all my fractions, because of her. She made us memorize it. She said, "You don't have to understand it now, but you will when you're older." And I thought that was interesting. Yeah, it'd grow there. Yes, it would. I grew up in Texas, in Beeville, Texas. And she made us memorize all the fractions and everything. And everybody who was not in her class, by the time they got to high school, they could not understand fractions, decimals, or percentages, because she went back to the old way. And I see so many people who don't understand their fractions and stuff. And you need all of that for cooking. 1913, 1920s will give me about 33 years and I'd be born. My parents weren't even born then. Well, listen, everybody. We are coming up on 1 whole hour. So I think I better say bye-bye for now. And listen, I'm going to try. I might be a little late, but I'm going to try to be here, 3 p.m. on Wednesday next week. Keep my fingers crossed, okay? So listen, I want you to have, let's see, since everybody's everywhere, I'm going to have to say good afternoon. Have a good afternoon. And the other ones, have a good evening. And for those of you it's nighttime, get a good rest. And I will see you next week. And we'll have another chat, and maybe I'll finally know what I'm going to cook. But what am I going to do tomorrow? I'll be baking tomorrow. I have to cook. So I'll see you then too, okay? So bye-bye.